Bonaparte received them courteously enough and listened in silence to their protestations of friendship. Then suddenly his mood changed. Striding back and forth across the room, he launched into a shearing diatribe against Venice, her government, and her people, accusing them of perfidy, hypocrisy, incompetence, injustice, medieval barbarities, and, most serious of all in his eyes, hostility to himself and to France. He demanded the immediate release of all political prisoners, threatening, if this were not done, to break open the prisons himself. What, he continued, of all the Frenchmen whom the Venetians had murdered? His soldiers were determined to have their revenge, and he would not deny it to them. Any government unable to restrain its own subjects was an imbecile government and had no right to survive. He ended with those terrible words that were soon to echo in the heart of every Venetian. Io sarò an Attila per lo stato veneto. I shall be an Attila to the state of Venice. When the two envoys returned to Venice with their report, Doge Lodovico Manin and his colleagues saw that the Republic was doomed. Not doomed, doomed. War was imminent. Further negotiations were impossible. The terra firma was as good as lost. The only hope of saving the city itself from destruction lay in capitulation to the conqueror's demands. And these demands were terrible indeed, nothing less than the abdication of the entire government and the abandonment of a constitution that had lasted more than 1,000 years, the suicide, in fact, of the state. Mhm. On Friday, 12 May 1797, the Great Council of Venice met for the last time. Many of its members having already fled the city, it fell short by 63 of its constitutional quorum of 600, but the time for such niceties was past. The Doge was just completing his opening speech when the sound of firing was heard outside the palace. At once all was in confusion.